Alright, I don't normally do this type of video, and I don't plan on doing it in the future. But this fucking goddamn shit on Counter-Strike on the subreddit about women and toxicity is pissing me the fuck off. Because of how little people understand toxicity. How little people understand arguing with people, something I pride myself on, funnily enough, is doing. Okay? I've been arguing with people since fucking 2008, starting in Call of Duty World at War, when I was like fucking 8 or 9 years old. I've been arguing and dealing with toxicity, and I've been dealing with it all the way up to now, and I still will in the future. I've argued with fucking hundreds of people on Overwatch, Counter-Strike, whatnot. I've played thousands of hours in fucking video games, and let me tell you, a fucking plethora with women. You can see the joke already forming in the Overwatch stuff, and there's a lot more on the way whenever I get around to the Overwatch stuff of playing with women and how people interact with women in lobbies. And they act as fucking... Fuck it. I'll get all into that later. This will be up on, I guess I'll say main channel. It's really only channel, but whatever. I'll put this up on there. This is not normally what you'll see, so this is just a once-in-a-lifetime thing, because this is the video that sparked it all. Once again, ignoring the fucking... this exact tweet and Semler's reaction to it, and Thorn and whatnot, but... I'm gonna fucking have to explain to you guys how toxicity works from apparently a guy with experience, and no one else seems to have any experience with it. So we're gonna fucking look at this, and I'll fucking react to it. Starting off quickly, I don't know the entire situation because I didn't follow or care enough, but ESL already did a fucking female league before, and it failed, essentially. They were able to pander for their little bit like they wanted to do, like every company does. Like how an LGBT History Month or Pride Month or whatever, every company changes their logo to rainbows, and then right when the month ends, they change it back. And any company, you know, like fucking Audi Middle East, Audi Saudi Arabia, they don't change their logo to fucking rainbow flags because the pandering doesn't make them money over there. And people still fall for it, obviously. Everybody hates capitalism until, you know, the company starts doing what they want. But ESL tried this before, it failed. They tried to get women into Counter-Strike before. None of them were good enough, really, to do anything but their own female leagues. You know, it's bad when the highest thing a woman's done in Counter-Strike was beat Cadian in a 1v1 tournament. And that was Giuliano, probably, what, the most famous female Counter-Strike player? Outside of maybe Miss Harvey. And no, guess what? I hate to break it to you. No women in Counter-Strike. Hell, actually more left. The very little that already played to begin with, so it's good to see that they'll put more money into a female tournament than in like NA or Australia or even developing a new region where there's literally players who have grinded through Counter-Strike, grinded through Face It and up to the professional levels, dealing with their own toxicity, by the way, and the cancer that is matchmaking and gamers. I fucking hate gamers. They've had to deal with that shit, but fucking ESL fucks over NA in Australia and cuts that shit out because it stops making them money. But then they'll go fucking pander for the free sponsorships that the women gives them and the fucking free PR. Which I'm pretty sure some fucking high up in ESL already insulted, was it PGL or Blast for not having a woman on their fucking talent lineup. And then ESL ran a tournament with no women in the fucking talent lineup. So I was like, what the fuck? How you gonna accuse someone of not fucking pandering and then not pander yourself? Fuck, at least stick to your own fucking pandering. Jesus Christ. But fuck it, I talked long enough in this intro. We'll let fucking 3KliksPhillip here fucking talk.
Women's Counter-Strike. Let's get this out of the way right now. There are no rules stopping women from playing in Counter-Strike events. The reason they don't is because they don't qualify. Simply, they aren't good enough. The not so simple is why that is. A big part of it could be because fewer women play the game, so it's to be expected that fewer of them ascend to pro tier.
True, that is a number, and I'm gonna cut him off here, but he may explain it. I forget. I'm gonna fucking let you know now. The reason why a lot of women don't ascend to high up in professional Counter-Strike, I'm gonna give you the big number one reason right here, is one, obviously, not enough women play video games in general, let alone Counter-Strike, and it's the same reason why a lot of NA players don't fucking try out to be professionals, or why they quit. Why someone like Shroud quit professional Counter-Strike just to stream, or why Flom, or Jason R, or Summit, or fucking Rambo in Europe. Loba barely even fucking tried, outside the couple teams he plays on. Tarek is doing it right now. Sam, why all these people stick to streaming and don't try to go professional or quit the professionals altogether. And the reason for that is because there is much more money being a Twitch streamer than there is being a Counter-Strike professional. I guarantee you Shroud makes more money in 1 month of streaming than fucking Na'Vi has made in their fucking tournament wins. And that's just the organization of Na'Vi, not just the fact that the prize money and whatnot gets split amongst the players. And I know fucking salaries, but streaming is going to give you a lot more money, develop your own personal brand a lot more than professional Counter-Strike will, and 3, it lets you be more of a name outside of Counter-Strike. Shroud is no longer just a Counter-Strike professional. Shroud has now moved on to be PUBG, fucking Valorant, and what other shit games he plays. Fucking Shroud's a boring-ass streamer anyways, but they all are. He's now moved on to build his brand a lot more than just a Counter-Strike professional player for Cloud9. And that's the reason why a lot of people won't do it. Why a lot of males don't go professional or don't try as hard. Because they have the option of streaming. It's a fallback plan, and a fallback plan that's a lot better than the alternative. Why would I want to try to become a professional when if I can just get good enough, I can get into fucking FPL or whatever, or Rank S when it was fucking years ago, and just be a streamer there? Why would DayZ come back to being a professional, or Swag, when they don't need to? They made more money streaming than they would have playing as a professional for all those years, and they'll make more than they would now, with or without the VAC ban, or without the Valve ban. The only person who actually came back to attempt it, AZK as well, but I think he went to Overwatch and never really streamed. And guess how fucking known AZK is? People know who DayZ are, people know who Swag are, and people know who Steel are. Steel happens to be the exception of the rule, because he did try to be a professional still. Did a damn good job doing it, too. Even did it in Valorant. But now let's get to the point of women, which we already understand now that men, obviously, have streaming as a fallback plan, as a sort of retirement home, if you will, if they don't want to do Valorant and play professionally anymore. Women have the same alternative. And I hate to break it to you, it's easier for a woman to make it as a fucking streamer than it will be as a man. Because first off, women have the benefit of getting every woman in the world to want to watch their stream because they relate. There's an overabundance of male streamers and a regular abundance of female. And that's if you include titty streamers and those people who stream just, you know, essentially to promote OnlyFans and whatnot. Why would they want to go professional? Why would they have the competitive drive to go professional when they'll make more money streaming with less time spent? I can stream for 6 hours and make more money than a professional would in a month as a woman or a big streamer, obviously. Especially when you get to that point. More of a brand for myself, more marketing, more merch, more everything than I would as a professional. Why would I ever try? Why would I have the competitive drive to do it? Not many of them do. That's why a lot of the fucking goddamn female players were able to work jobs and to stream themselves on their off times when they weren't doing tournaments. Why a lot of them didn't even try to make it into male tournaments, because why the fuck would they? There's a better career path literally standing right there. The only reason you would ever try being a professional is the desire to win. A desire for competitiveness that I'm pretty sure 3KliksPhillip will talk about here, that women just don't have as much with video games specifically that men do. Men care about winning video games a lot more than women do. And that's just a fact because, again, video games are not as high as a priority as a hobby to women as it is to men. There are other things in women's lives they would rather do than play video games. It's a fact of life. Maybe in the future it changes. I don't know. We'll see what the future fucking holds. But right now, that is a fact of life. Women getting into gaming is a very new thing. And quite frankly, I don't believe a lot of the women who play games now actually enjoy gaming. But I may talk about that later.
Here. But then we have to ask the question, why do fewer women play the game in the first place? Is it nature? Is it nurture? Possibly a bit of both. Are guys wired to be more competitive, more aggressive?
Yeah.
Does this translate to an advantage of some sort? I'm sure that everybody's got their own theories about this. Whatever the reasons might be, the burden will always be on the women in the scene to prove that they can keep up with their male counterparts. But the rest of us can do our bit by ensuring that we don't put up artificial barriers, or to make it about anything else other than their counter-striking ability. Because
yeah, except no one does put up fucking barriers like that, and people who claim there are just fucking lying. There's no barriers for women in Counter-Strike. If there were barriers for women in Counter-Strike or with gaming, there wouldn't be female professionals. There wouldn't have been a women's league before, and there wouldn't be one now. If there was a barrier, why would the fuck are there professionals? Why can I name Giuliano and Miss Harvey and Benito? Why can I name those names? If there was a barrier, why do they even have a female league? Well, there's a barrier. NA doesn't have a fucking league. Australia doesn't, unless ESL re-implemented them and I didn't see it. They don't have leagues. Their fucking regions are dying. Or have hit a point where it's pretty much dead. NA has essentially 3 fucking teams. 3 teams, and one of them is fucking Extra Salt. 3 teams of potential, sorry. There's like fucking Bad News Bears and, what is it, Party Triumphs or whatever the fuck it is. But those teams are literally no-name fucking teams. That would even be tier 2 in NA fucking 3 years ago. And maybe Complexity if they come back with the core of Extra Salt and some of the liquid rejects. But essentially, they had their own league before. They're getting another league now. Now, NA and fucking Australia and even regions like Korea where they have dedicated fucking people who love gaming. They don't even try to build a scene there. But what artificial barriers exist? Honestly, what artificial barriers could possibly exist? There's fucking countless female talent. You have fucking Frankie and what is it? Fucking Flicks or Phoenix or whatever. I'll try to get the fuck Spix. No, that's a slur. It's fucking Snicks or what the fuck is the goddamn bitch's name? CSGO. That's not also me being sexist. That's just me asking for the woman's name in a very offensive way because I'm angry. So don't get all excited with the little fucking comment reply you're gonna try to do. Fuck it. I'll try to look for Smix. There we go. I couldn't fucking think of it. Smix. I know she did E-League for a while, and some of the other names. I know Miss Harvey did desk talent jobs for a little bit. However, I think there's some issues with that. You know, from what I hear about fucking talent having a irritating ass time with companies, but there are literally female fucking talent on desks. Hell, I think fucking Miss Harvey, did she do a major? She may have done a major, unless I'm fucking wrong. No, I don't know if she did a major. It may not have been a major. I thought she may have been an FPL. I could have been wrong. Fuck it, I'll just say I'm wrong and let someone else tell me what she actually did. But they have female talent who get hired. They have female professional teams in their own female league. What are the artificial barriers that possibly could exist for women to make it? Where are they? Where are these barriers? There are none. There literally are none. People were praising Juliana when she beat Katie in that 1v1 tournament fucking many moons ago. They were making fun of Katie and then praising Giuliano. That doesn't sound like a fucking large barrier to me. It doesn't sound like people hate women to me when Kadian's being bullied for losing to one. Jokingly, no, there was no sexism there. It was just because she was clearly a worse player than Kadian. It would essentially be someone like me beating a fucking global elite in a fucking 1v1 duel. It wouldn't make logical sense. He should be fucking mopping the floor with me. Kadian should have mopped the floor with Giuliano. So it was impressive to see that Kadian either faltered enough or Giuliano managed to hit some fucking insane shots. I don't exactly remember. It was a 1v1 tournament. Who cares? But people were praising it. There's almost saying, man, fucking women. I fucking hate that they're doing good. Fuck. You know, that wasn't existing.
Because right now, there are barriers.
There aren't.
You probably haven't seen them.
That's because they don't exist.
Until I had. Now,
because they don't exist.
My experience of being a woman
you built the barrier.
Very limited.
You didn't see any barriers because there weren't any, and then you decided to build some artificial barriers and say, look it, I see them now. No, you built them. You created the fucking barriers. You created artificial barriers and then fucking said that these are fucking prominent and have inflicted women for generations of gaming.
Personally, the most alarming moment for me, and when I discovered there was a problem, was back in 2015 when I was watching Vexy playing a match, and out of nowhere, other people on the server broke their match-long silence simply to post sexist things to her. Not to do with her counter-striking ability, nothing to do with anything about the game.
That's how trolling works, dumbass.
Things were posted simply because she was a woman, and still is. And these comments were so stupid, so thoughtless, and served no purpose other than to belittle her.
I'll wait till he's done.
Angry or upset. I couldn't believe that.
That's the point.
Who, upon encountering a woman in a match.
But that's the point. I hate to break it to you, when I go against the guy in Counter-Strike, and I want to hurt the guy, I don't fucking give a shit. But if I go against a guy in Counter-Strike on the enemy team who's got like 35 kills and it's only round 20 or round fucking 10, and he's got 35 kills, and it's like, god damn, this dude's good, and I want to insult him, I'm gonna call him a loser and a virgin and say he has no life and stays in his basement because he is doing better than me. and he's beating me and I'm losing. That's where toxicity comes from. The desire to win. You get toxic when you lose. And you get toxic to your teammates because you blame them for said loss. And when toxicity happens and I get toxic to a teammate, I insult said teammate. How do you insult said teammate? In a way that would hurt them. So you find the best way to fucking hurt the person on the insult, as insulting works, and that's what you attack. So when a woman's doing very good in a game, or a man, or anybody, you insult them. And when you find out it's a woman, or you know it's a woman, you insult them on that fact because it's going to get them angry enough to make Reddit posts and to cry about it online. So of course that's what I'm going to attack if I want to hurt the person. I'm not going to fucking attack her for her Counter-Strike ability. She's stupid. She's doing better than me. So the only way I can attack her is saying she's a virgin with no life. But unfortunately that doesn't really apply to a woman as an insult. That's not a very good insult to throw against women. And I don't get it. I'm going to read this fucking post out loud here just to fucking talk about it. But when you insult somebody from toxicity, you insult the thing that will hurt them the most. And the best way to hurt them is things like you insult sexism on women. Why do you think fucking black people got insulted with fucking racial slurs back in Call of Duty days? Or children got called squeakers? Why do you think all that existed? Because it was the best way to fucking do it. A kid's gonna get mad when you make fun of his age. A black person will get mad when you make fun about his race. A fucking woman will get mad when you make fun of her fucking gender. That's the easiest way to attack them. You fucking want to attack a Ku Klux Klan member, you insult the whites. It's not that hard. You find whatever would fucking trigger them the most and you fucking use it against them. That's fucking insulting 101. That's toxicity 101. This is something that you should have learned years ago in Call of Duty lobbies if you're fucking in your 20s like I am, let alone before that. I'm sure fucking toxicity still existed in games and things like World of Warcraft or fucking StarCraft or shit like that. Hell, I'm sure you've had toxicity back in the fucking days of arcades. If some guy was too good at an arcade game, I'm sure you'd fucking throw insults at him or make fun of the guy. It's just a fucking way of life. It's just a fucking natural thing of life. That's just how it happens. The fact that this is considered a problem now, funnily enough, and no one complained when children were being consistently bullied in video games. I can look at fucking Merc music videos right now and find him fucking video after video after video of him fucking harassing and trolling children in Minecraft by joining their worlds. Hell, specifically playing with children. If it wasn't for the fact that I don't actually have any fucking problem with it, I think that would be a lot more of an issue than a woman being fucking told to go to the kitchen and make a Sammy. I'm pretty sure that would be a lot more of an issue. He's fucking bullying children to the point that they're crying. Just through trolling, and people do it in games to the point that kids are fucking screaming in the microphones and crying. No one complained about that. Nobody has a problem with that still to this day. It's like everyone either forgot about it or just wasn't around for it. Let alone the fact that literally Call of Duty was known for its racial slurs. That's why I find it so ironically laughable when I see fucking Activision putting Black Lives Matter and Stand With Us in like Warzone and whatnot. Because their game was one of the most racist things back in the day. If you want to hear a new racial slur, you loaded up a fucking multiplayer, you load up Search and Destroy in Call of Duty and you'd hear a new racial slur every day. Every day, you'd hear a new fucking slur. Their game literally was racism in a game. Just how it fucking works, let alone the screaming and yelling. Okay, today one guy ruined my game and the game of my teammates just because he realized I am a girl. He has a picture of a woman, give it a look, and he also dedicates all of the main view of his profile to women. But if you are a woman and you play with him, he griefs you, disturbs you, and insults you to death. To death! Insults you to death. This was the final thing she made before he fucking finished his last insult. Before he fucking stick the last insult in her heart, she fucking typed up this Reddit post. He told me that he hates women's playing. He called me bitch in several languages. I'm gonna stop this real quick. He wanted to kick me out of the team just because I'm a girl who likes to play Counter-Strike. I can't believe there are still people who think this way. I just want to tell you all, please don't be an asshole and respect everybody. Okay, I'm gonna fucking start this off right now. Something people seem to forget about the internet, something that was learned a long time ago on the internet and you taught to children, was that you don't believe everything you read on the internet, right? So why am I gonna take, and maybe this could be an actual girl or a real thing, but how am I supposed to believe that this is exactly, I mean, this is literally full on, he hit every checkbox you could for sexism. I mean, he called her bitch in several languages. I don't know the word bitch in several languages. I can give you Spanish. I don't know China and whatnot. Maybe they're from Europe, but even so, I don't know fucking bitch in every fucking bad language. And there's no way he did it either. That's already harder to believe to begin with. Maybe in Europe, but even then, I don't see that being fucking plausible. What was the other one? Fucking... The guy has everything based off to women. I mean, people always put women in their profile pictures and join, like, hentai Steam groups for some odd reason. But, I mean, his entire dedicates all of it, the main view of his profile, to women. I mean, I just... The guy screams troll. Like, he screams like a fucking troll. If I wanted to troll fucking... Let's say I wanted to go on... well, I mean, I will say Counter-Strike here. Let's say I want to go on Counter-Strike and troll black people, right? I'd fucking put in my profile picture the Ku Klux. I'd call myself like fucking Ku Klux Kenny or something stupid. I'd fucking have my entire profile, join groups saying, you know, fucking I hate, you know, minorities and stuff like that, and have my little fucking thing saying I'm a gamer because I hate women and minorities type jokes, right? That would be the best way to do it. I'd be literally a full-on troll profile. As people do. I have seen people literally pretend to be women on Counter-Strike. With their fucking profile pictures and their names, and then they talk like a guy. They pretend to be women. Just to troll, just to joke around. That's the entire point of it. The guy screams troll, if any of this is real, once again. He screams like he's a fucking troll. Also, he griefs you, disturbs you, and insults you to death. What you don't understand is maybe she was bottom fragging. Not saying this makes it okay, but maybe she was bottom fragging. Thus being a reason for toxicity. Maybe they were losing, thus being a reason for toxicity. Maybe she was being toxic herself, would be a reason to respond back with toxicity. As you do. These fucking posts on Reddit, these little posts you see on Reddit and you see everywhere, these little posts are like the fucking r/am I the asshole or whatever. Where people go on there, am I the asshole because I wanted to fucking give my husband-in-law $2,000 just for being a great guy? They go on there and try to make everyone else seem like a fucking huge villain and remove any part where they could have done wrong or done something wrong. That's why you don't believe that nonsense. You scroll through that Reddit fucking any goddamn day of the week, you'll see a bunch of fucking posts that are so outlandish and unbelievable you think they're fake. One, because they probably are, and two, the ones that aren't fake are completely cut up and edited to make sure that they seem like a perfect little angel and everyone else around them is bad. And that's exactly what this is and could be and most likely will be. Because that's what people do. There are countless people who go on fucking Reddit. It's like every time you talk to a woman online, it's most likely a man, like in chat rooms. It stands. It stands. Assume that any time, most women who don't use a voice are most likely men, right? And that, believe it or not, people lie. Whether it be for attention or just because they want to vent, whatever, people lie. Thirdly, nice to know she's making her problems everyone else's fucking public thing. He told me he hates women's playing. Which I'm gonna assume European, just with the way she's typing and misspelling certain words, but I don't know. She's misspelling words, but she's fucking typing and like she's putting commas after today and please like you're supposed to, and I putting commas and whatnot with ands after fucking parentheses and shit. I don't know. It's screaming like an American to me. Which, again, I don't think Americans know in several different languages for bitch. If I don't think other people are going to. He hates that women play Counter-Strike. Again, if this is true, the guy's trolling, clearly. Nobody actively hates women playing Counter-Strike. Nobody actively does that. That is not something I've ever heard my thousands upon thousands upon thousands of hours of fucking gaming through the years, have I ever heard somebody complain about women playing a video game. Pure troll. Griefs you, disturbs you, and insults you to death. You can tell she's overstating it because no one says insults you to death. She doesn't even know what the fuck kind of idiom she's trying to use. He called you a bitch in several languages. Even so, even if he did call you a bitch, is that any different than me calling you a retard or a cunt or a fuck or an asshole? Just because bitch is primarily sent towards women doesn't mean it has a sexist connotation to it. He wanted to kick you out of the team. Okay, you could again been bottom frag and he blamed you for losing. Just because I'm a girl who likes to play Counter-Strike, I don't believe that. She really specifies a lot that she's a girl, by the way. Girls don't do that. Just because he realized I'm a girl who likes to play Counter-Strike. Come on. Girls don't fucking actively advertise their women like that, especially 6 years ago, compared to fucking whenever the screenshot was taken. There are bound to be some rotten apples. Just block communication and move on. Those people don't deserve your attention. Look at that. Tyler, the creator, I'm pretty sure I had the tweet before that how you can get cyberbullied. Just fucking turn off the computer. It works. Just mute them. Solves that problem. Look at that. What a fucking solution. Can't believe it's that complex.
Such mindless, sexist abuse for no apparent reason.
Yeah, just believe it right away.
I was even paying attention to this, but when I spoke with her about it afterwards, she told me it was a fairly normal occurrence to receive that kind of treatment in the game. When I spoke with her about it for no apparent reason, I don't think Vexy was even paying attention to this. But
alright, so if this is the streamer like I think it is, either way, Phillips did talk to her and probably would have confirmed it's a woman, but I don't believe that at all. I still believe the guy's trolling. Again, it's easy to troll. It's not that difficult.
She told me it was a fairly normal occurrence to receive.
But why go on Reddit and complain about? What do people on Reddit give a shit about you? That's the thing that confuses me. Why are you gonna go on Reddit and cry about your problems? Why are you gonna go on Twitter or Instagram or YouTube or anything and cry about your problems? That's like me going on Reddit and saying I face a lot of toxicity because people make fun of me for my speech impediment. Why the hell am I gonna do that? The fucking people on Reddit don't care. My speech impediment's not gonna go away and people are still gonna make fun of me for it. So what the fuck is me going on there and venting and turning all my problems into other people gonna do? She's essentially just looking for people to side with her and to fucking give her compliments. It's attention seeking at its fucking core. She just wants fucking compliments. She might as well just say, I feel like I'm so ugly and I can't do anything right because of this, so fucking people give her compliments. It's attention seeking at its fucking finest. What a shock, it's a fucking female streamer.
A lot of people memeing about female CS are probably equally oblivious.
Yes, okay, people cry about female CS. I hate to break it to you, wanna know what else is a big joke about CS? NACS. Oh, look at that, that's an NA smoke. That's an NA spray. That's an NA team. Anything like that with NACS, because NACS is naturally worse. That's why. That's why people make fun of NA smokes or NA players or NA teams or NA sprays or whatever. And that's considered bad because NACS is always worse than Europe. That's a straight fact. And the only changed a little bit now with things like Liquid and whatnot. But even then, let's be honest, North American Counter-Strike is fucking dog shit. So fucking them saying female CS, you know, fucking switch female with NA and it makes no goddamn difference because female CS sucks too. You admitted that yourself that they fucking suck and that they're not good enough. It's the same reason why there's that fucking meme with the fucking goddamn let's go and then she's got like fucking 0-16. What was that fucking... Yeah, it was fucking this video. Hold on. I'm not gonna fucking edit it later. It was fucking this video, Benita versus Renegades highlights. Alright, this is a fucking joke because of how it was. It's supposed to be like a fucking start of a frag movie. I'm sure you all fucking realize if you're seeing this. That's why. Stuff like that. Fuck off. Fuck off, Navi Heroic. That shit right there. That shit right there, it's like NACS. That's the same fucking joke how people use that for male Counter-Strike for fucking male Counter-Strike players. I see those fucking things pop up in Reddit here and then. It's the same as NACS.
Because being a guy, I don't receive this kind of abuse. I wasn't even aware that this was a thing because it had never crossed my mind to insult somebody.
Oh yeah, because no one's ever insulted UK CS, right? Outside of the fucking fact that Alex, Mezzi, and Smooya have managed to fucking, you know, have UK Fnatic and whatnot, have managed to actually, you know, sort of impress in their years. No one's ever made fun of UK CS, right? That was never a fucking joke ever, yeah.
In a match just because they were a woman.
And also to fucking pick this, it's just joke. It's like it's Twitch chat humor essentially coming out here. It's Twitch chat jokes about female CS being bad. Why are female tournaments a thing? Just qualify for regular tournaments because they can't. It's the same reason with the female chess leagues and how they want and how the female chess leagues want to make as much as males and have the same prize pool. Play the males. Males, air quotes. Females I'm pretty sure are allowed to play in males. Just play in the males then. Combine them. The only reason a female chess league exists is because you sucked at chess. That's why. If you're good enough at chess to beat the males, then fucking beat the males. It's that simple. Then you can get the fucking big male prize pool instead of asking for a similar one with weaker fucking contests. It's fucking stupid. It's the same with the WNBA. Fucking people think they should be making as much as LeBron. You want to fucking make as much as LeBron, you go beat LeBron. It's that fucking simple. It's basic logic. Fuck, man.
For all I knew, I could have played 1,000 matches with and against 1,000 people who would have abused me, had only I been a woman.
Except that's not true.
She got the lowest ADR on the team, and she's f***ing on top. She's fading so much. How can you get 17 kills? And
dude, I did that really cool clutch. Did you not remember the cool 3K?
You're f***ing like an emo girl. You're a girl playing video games. Bro,
Whoa.
That's a bit sexist, you know?
Come on, buddy. Just trying to play CS.
Okay, so let me explain this one. The big one that fucking people in the fucking comments and whatnot were fucking attacking me for when I responded. How she was top fragging and the fucking guy was being toxic and sexist. It's unbelievable. This clip, literally, the guy explains why he's mad. This clip is the inherent... This clip doesn't fucking prove sexism. This clip literally disproves it. This guy is making sexist remarks purely because he's trying to hurt her. He literally said why he was mad in the responses. She's top fragging with the lowest ADR because she's baiting. That's why he's mad. Whether it's true is a completely different argument. I'm not making that case for the fucking game. Who gives a shit? He's toxic because he's fucking... I don't remember the player, but he's clearly probably doing worse than her. He's doing bad. The game is tied when he probably feels like they should be winning. And he feels like he was baited. I've been yelled at for baiting before because the guy would go out first and die, and then I would fucking refrag. Or because I'd be at fucking... He'd be at 5 health and I'm at 100. It's like, I'm not going first, you fucking retard. You go first. So I wait for him. People have been complaining about being baited in Counter-Strike for years. Even on professional level, people complain about people like Happy baiting. And fucking pretty much any lurker, get right, all of them were fucking baiters, technically. He's literally mad because she's baiting. She's doing better than him, and he feels it's because of her baiting, and she has no ADR, so her fucking stats don't make sense, and so he wants to hurt her by insulting her the easiest way, by telling her to go to the kitchen. Really? That's the thing that's upsetting everybody? Oh my god, fucking sexism. He said go to the kitchen. I've been called a lot fucking worse than that. I can guarantee you, I know a lot of people who've been called a lot worse than that. Children have been called worse. Black people have been called worse. I can go right back to the Call of Duty days. Black people still play video games. They still play Call of Duty. Children grew up to still play video games, and even back when they were children continued. I was yelled at for being a squeaker back in COD, and I still searched another game of COD. I guarantee you she searched another fucking game of Counter-Strike. The guy's clearly mad for whatever reason and is being toxic, and so he's trying to insult and hurt as much as possible. Is he a sexist? Does he hate women? No, he doesn't. I hate to break this truth to you. Toxic people who make an insult about sexism or racism or anything, who make anything like that, they aren't most likely racists or sexists. All the people who use racial slurs back in Call of Duty, I guarantee you 90% of them aren't racists. When Sato-Kiss the streamer used the fucking slur against that one guy who was trolling him in chat, when he fucking said the word. Even Bardolph came out, and Bardolph has no problem airing his grievances about talent, as you can so see from the last major. Even he came out to say Sato-Kiss isn't racist. He was just trying to be edgy, just trying to hurt the guy in the worst insult possible, just like PewDiePie. When you're angry, you think of the worst thing you can possibly say. That's why no one calls you a bastard. They call you a fuck or a retard or a cunt. It goes worse and worse on that level of what is considered bad. And that's just how that works. That's basic logic in how toxicity works, and it's mind-blowing that people don't understand it. And then you let the shit get to you. She's doing a good job of fucking dealing with it and not fucking crying about it. Right now, so far on camera, she's doing a pretty good job for that. But when you let things get to you, people are going to use it against you. It's just that is literally a basic fact that you teach kids to avoid bullying in high school. Is that you either have to learn to laugh at yourself, learn to insult back, or have thicker skin. Something that all men would have developed in the fucking 10 plus extra years, maybe more, depending on how old you are, gaming that women haven't had. Because women getting into gaming is really only a new development. So I can't speak specifically for her, but let's say this woman, this is only her fucking 5th year playing video games and only 3rd year playing fucking competitive first-person shooters. I've been playing first-person shooters since 2008. Competitive, if you don't want to count COD as competitive. I don't know why you wouldn't, but hey, competitive since 2014 in Counter-Strike. And God, was I dog shit when I first started playing Counter-Strike. I was Silver 1, and I should have been ranked lower. I was that bad. I was being fucking bullied every goddamn game for bottom fragging, because I was dog shit. I deserved to be bullied. I was absolute dog shit. I was the reason we were losing. I would be toxic back and insult back and whatever. Who gives a shit? But instead of going on Reddit and crying about toxicity, I did something a little different. I went and grinded hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours into fucking deathmatch. I still suck at the game, don't get me wrong, but I was a lot better before I quit for a while. I grinded all the way in so I could play in these Silver games, so I could play in these Nova games, so I could play in these Master Guardian games, and I wouldn't be the detriment to the team. I wouldn't be the bottom fragger. I wouldn't be the reason we're losing. Instead of crying about it on Reddit and asking for everyone to just be nicer and to try to change the world, I changed myself. Because I can only change myself, I can't change the world. It's easy for me to put 1,000 hours of deathmatch in a Counter-Strike. It's not easy to change everybody in the world and never be toxic. For all I know, this guy could have had a bad day. Maybe he just lost his job or his girlfriend broke up with him, and so he just fucking takes his anger out on somebody online. God knows I've done that. God knows people have done that to me. There are people online, you don't care about them. That's the entire point. I'd rather blow up at someone in a fucking video game than blow up at somebody in real life. That's just a fucking fact of life. I don't give a shit about the person online. I do care about the person in real life. It's the same reason why I would never go to a fucking coffee shop and be super toxic and start insulting the fucking cashier, because I don't give a fuck. I can do it online because who gives a fuck? It's the internet. It's a video game. It's the least important thing in the world.
Sell your fucking pussy somewhere. Don't care. Go to the kitchen, shut the fuck up, stop playing Counter-Strike.
And this kind of sexism frustrates me because there are so few repercussions for those who do it.
Because it's the internet. What the fuck? You want to fucking throw the guy in jail? You want to fucking give him a death penalty like fucking Slasher was saying? You should fucking punish the guy and oust him forever? And by the way, fuck Slasher too. That guy's a real piece of work. Made a fucking long tirade about how fucking people in Counter-Strike say bad, mean, racial slurs. Only for that guy to have been outed for saying a racial slur whenever he wanted to, and not caring about it. He's mad about 16-year-olds and children saying racial slurs, and he was 30 years old saying it, and it's fucking shocking how blind people can be to their own flaws. You endured a sexist tirade because he was trying to upset you. He was just toxic. He was just toxic! He was just mad that the game was tied, that you were baiting, air quotes, again, not saying she was baiting or isn't, I don't fucking know and I don't fucking care. It's stupid. There is no fucking misogyny in CSGO, it's just toxicity. It's just learn to insult!
And because I am so powerless to do anything about it myself.
Yeah.
When it's posted on social media, I see other people trying to reassure the victims of this sort of abuse that the nasty comments just come from players who are...
But God forbid I post a fucking toxic video and people just send me more insults. This guy saying to go get in the kitchen, I'm called a fucking retard and saying I need mental health, but suddenly she's the one who needs the fucking support? And I'm not saying I need support and you should fucking suck me off. I don't give a shit. It's mean words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but if words offend you, you're a pussy. There should be no fuck. He was pretty much essentially just telling her to go get in the kitchen. That was, what, the worst thing he said? Maybe he said, "So up your pussy." I don't know. He bleeped the words so I could fucking not understand the insult perfectly. But that's all he did, was tell her to get in the kitchen and to make him a sandwich, maybe. How is that, like, so bad as abuse? I've endured worse abuse. I've seen children endure worse abuse, other than me and COD. I've seen black people endure worse abuse in games like Call of Duty. It's mind-boggling. It breaks my mind.
Well, then it's great that the women can laugh it off in such a positive way. Now, it's good that there are people out there who are trying to support them, but that just isn't good enough.
See? This person even understands it, but then they still can't fucking... They're so close to grasping the concept they're trying to grasp, but they just can't do it. He would have probably been toxic towards the team either way. Yes, granted, he only started being toxic at what seemed like fucking round 20 or so, which means something in the game probably upset him. You know, wanna know that something was? He said it! The baiting! Supposedly! He just managed to say it about women to insult them. He would have called the guys retards and idiots and losers and said they were fucking shit at the game. Because that's how you insult men in a video game. That's just how you do it. That is how you insult men. You're not going to go tell men to get in the garage. That's not how you do that. Because men don't get upset if you go tell them to do it. Hell, I can go tell a man to get a job. I can tell him to fucking quit working. It's unbelievable. It's shocking. I'm losing my voice because this is fucking so stupid. He's so close to grasping it, but he just can't do it.
That isn't going to do anything to address the problem, and sometimes it makes it even worse.
It does.
Especially when I see victim blaming going on.
There's sexism with both genders everywhere. There is. I hate to break it to you, it's been very rare, but in my thousands of hours of Counter-Strike, first off, in video games in general, first off, I'm going to say now, I've never once seen a woman be insulted just for being a woman. With no other reason, just for being a woman. Never have I seen it. I'm going to be honest with you, I've only seen a woman get insulted one time, and he didn't actually make any sexist remarks. He just insulted her for being shit at the game. Hell, it's actually in a video, I'm pretty sure. At least I don't think he made sexist remarks. I'm pretty sure it's in one of my videos. If that video is uploaded, if not, I remember it's when I fucking went, "I like you," to the woman. And I said it like a fucking weirdo. And it was funny. That, I'm pretty sure, is the only time I've seen a woman really get insulted in fucking Overwatch if it wasn't by me. Or Paul. But that's the fucking thing. When I argued with those couple toxic women, you wanna know what they said to me? I'm a virgin, I'm a loser, and I have a small dick, and I've never had sex. Which, you know, sort of relates to the virgin thing, but, you know, different ways of saying stuff. I've heard that. That is specifically sexism targeted towards me. I just didn't cry about it because I understand why she would say those things, because as a man, and as men in general, the best way to insult them is to insult stuff like that. That is the best way to get at them. Normally when you're a woman, saying you have a small dick as a man is still common. It's just, you know, it's a little odd. I don't know, it's common but odd.
This is presumably done by people who are angry that it's going on, but are so powerless to do anything about it themselves that they just blame the victim. As
No,
this is an easy
that's
way
not
of
how
washing
that
their
works.
hands of the situation.
Yeah, no one's Pontius Pilating the fucking goddamn abuse, air quotes, as you can't see them. No one's Pontius Pilating the fucking abuse and washing their hands of it, saying, "Barabbas, please go free." Nobody's doing that. They're just saying, "Hey, this isn't sexism, and if it is, it happens everywhere, and this isn't that big of a fucking deal. Move on and grow up, get some thicker skin. I've been playing video games for this long, I have the thick skin. It's something you learn to develop over time." Fuck.
Sexist abuse shouldn't exist in the first place. And while I'm sure it's not the only reason, it is a very good reason for why women don't feel welcome in the scene.
Or they don't feel welcome. What do you mean don't feel welcome in the scene? If they didn't feel welcome in the scene, they wouldn't be in the scene. It's that simple. You ever thought that maybe they don't like Counter-Strike? They don't like the way Counter-Strike works. A lot of women seem to gravitate towards fucking MOBAs and Overwatch. Character-based games like Valorant, where they can pick characters, or games like MOBAs where they can pick characters, it tends to gravitate towards women. Women tend to gravitate towards things where they can play a healer. That's fucking one reason why you may not see them in Counter-Strike, let alone the fact that if women weren't welcome in gaming, please explain this one wild concept to me. How are there professional Counter-Strike players who are female? How are there so many women streamers? How can there be fucking Pokimane and fucking goddamn Sin Bear, however the fuck you pronounce it, that ST Peach chick, Kitty Plays or whatever. You have fucking going with Fitz, I know they're YouTubers, you have fucking Bordy and Hey I'm B or whatever. How do you have all these female streamers and yet the millions of more, Alinity, the millions of more I didn't mention? Even before you had Brittany Venti and a Casey Tron and whatnot. How do you have all these women streamers and growing every day, by the way, if women aren't accepted in the community? If nobody wants women around? How? You can't have it both ways here. Women can't grow but still not be wanted. That's not how that works. If you don't want something, you don't do it. You don't have it. It's that simple.
On the face of it, Counter-Strike is the ideal platform for gender equality. It isn't about physical strength, which removes one of the very real advantages that men do have over women in conventional sports.
No, it's not, because here's ignoring the physical attributes, here's something that you don't have with women in gaming, and why it is currently an issue where men are better at gaming is because women don't play it for nearly as much or for nearly as many years. A man can play a game for 10 hours a day. A woman won't be doing that 90% of the time. They'll have other things in their lives to do. Women tend to have more social lives. Let alone more care about taking care of upkeep on themselves. That a lot of gamers don't do. Let alone the fact that men have been playing games for a lot longer in terms of years and length of time as opposed to women. I've been playing games longer than fucking most women. I've been playing online games for much longer than that. So even if a woman did play Legend of Zelda and all the Nintendo games and only got into competitive gaming when she was fucking 16 and now she's 20, I hate to break you, those 4 years of competitive gaming, I already had the fucking thickest skin in the world. Because I developed that shit over the years. You develop that thick skin. You develop that sense, that this very big skill of not caring what the person online thinks. But people don't get to develop that skill anymore. No one developed that skill before. No one develops it now. Now they'd rather just whine and bitch about it. Sure, would it be great if the entire world wasn't angry? Would it be great if the entire world was nice and helped each other and, would act like it is a fucking whole full-on Andy Griffith episode? Yeah, it'd be great if the world did that, sure. But it doesn't. And you're never going to make it do that. It's that simple. There's always going to be people who get mad because they have a bad day or because something happened in the game. There's always going to be rage and upset and anger and toxicity. That will always exist. You cannot remove it. It will always happen. So the best thing to do is to solve the problem with yourself instead of trying to change the world. Because you can't change the world. No one can change the fucking world. Nobody. No politician, nothing. Nobody's changing the world without the help of fucking thousands and thousands upon millions of people. And even then, it barely fucking happens. The easiest thing you can do is you can change yourself. If you're getting insulted for being bad at the game, get better at the game. Or, use an alternative if you don't want to do that. Stop playing the game. You could mute the guy, or you could not care about what he says and leave it unmuted. I don't mute people in Counter-Strike, ever. They could be toxic, they could be loud, they could be fucking absolutely annoying. God damn. I don't do it in Counter-Strike, I don't do it in Overwatch, but people are fucking annoying. Gamers have no social skills. Gamers have no fucking social awareness, no social understanding. They don't know how to act like normal people. They just act essentially like Twitch chat does. They spout off fucking copy pastas and emotes, and they yell and scream and act with ironic humor. Shit you would never do outside of a video game. They do it on the video game. Because they have no social skills and no idea how to interact socially, right? I still don't mute them when they do that. I don't do it. Because I have no interest in muting, because I don't give a shit about them. And two, I'll probably end up arguing with them at some point anyway, so I'm gonna fucking keep them unmuted. Hell, the amount of times I'll argue with somebody, they'll insult me, I insult them back, and then they insult me and mute me and continue insulting me despite muting me. As gay as that fucking thing is and how much of a pussy it makes you, even they muted me when I was pissing them off. Even when I was pissing them off, were they muting me? So, there's so many options to solve the problem, personally, and yet you still don't want to do it.
Sports. And it being online, you can exist as nothing more than a nickname, a profile picture, and a character model in-game. People don't know who you are, or whether you're male or...
Yeah, I hate to break it to you in specific things like Counter-Strike. I do know when they're fucking women most of the time. Women make it very obvious to know when they are. It's a fucking running gag I did in Overwatch. I could pull up my friends list right now and there's fucking loads of women. Less now because a lot of them removed me since I haven't played Overwatch in years, but... essentially, I was able to tell when it was a woman 90% of the time. When a fucking woman, when someone named GlitterKitty445 joins into the Overwatch game with a fucking pink, one of those pink stuffed like onions in Overwatch, that little profile picture. When GlitterKitty445 with that stuffed cutesy pink onion profile picture auto locks Mercy, yeah, I know who you are. Especially if you have one Q partner and he happens to be fucking picking DPS. I know that's your fucking boyfriend. I'm not stupid. When I fucking join a goddamn Counter-Strike game and I see a selfie of a girl with the fucking name Claire in the fucking Steam name, and I open up the profile and she has a fucking long bio and a bunch of pink cutesy stuff everywhere, I know you're a woman. When you even if you don't have a name or a profile picture, it's pretty easy to tell when you are and aren't a woman. Hell, I can load up a fucking woman's Steam profile and just read the comments to know if it's a woman or a man. Fuck, it's you're not that fucking anonymous as you think you are.
Female. Until, of course, you open your mouth to speak, which
Not
opens
at
you
all.
up to all sorts of abuse.
Which it
Fans
doesn't.
have taken steps to try and improve things.
No, they
Trust
didn't.
Factor tries to separate the worst players from the rest of us. Abusive players eventually get auto-muted, and it's...
I hate to break this fucking truth to you. I've encountered a lot of toxicity, and I've been fucking arguing with people myself. I don't get auto muted, and the only people I see get auto muted are especially annoying, not toxic, just especially annoying. And low trust factor means absolutely nothing with the amount of free accounts you can have, and the amount of Smurfs people had from before, and the fact that barely anybody plays matchmaking nowadays consistently. It all doesn't really mean shit.
It's easy to mass block interactions with other players on the server. After speaking with women about this, it's apparent that bad stuff still happens, particularly at lower ranks. A new trend is for people to ask for their OnlyFans page, stuff like that. With the intention...
I've actually been in lobbies before, in like Overwatch, where a woman has actually advertised her OnlyFans. Not a fucking joke. There have actually been times when women advertise OnlyFans, and I hate to break it to you, I'm gonna explain a little bit of the gamer psychology here for a second. I know this fucking video is already, I'm already at 4 minutes in. I've been talking for 40 minutes or 50 minutes now, but it's gamers have no social skills. I've stressed all this enough. And one thing they don't have, a lot of interaction with women, both in reality and online. Do you want to know the only times men really do interact with women online, specifically gamers? On stuff like TikTok, Twitch streams, and whatnot. Video games, too. The thing is, when I load up Twitch, and all I see are all the female gamers doing some sort of sexual act, or I see all female gamers, you know, like fucking Kitty Plays used to, oh my god, I got the biggest D ever with the donations. I mean, come on. Come on. Everyone knows what they're doing. The fucking Twitch thought joke's been around for so long. Everyone knows what it is. On TikTok, the amount of times I can scroll on TikTok and see one of those thirst trap TikToks, and it's a fucking comment of a guy saying, can you please step on me, or can you please do that from the back this time? And the woman doesn't. The woman objectifies herself for the male comment. The guy asked for something so outlandishly sexual, and then the woman did it. The woman did it. There's a fucking Twitch streamer, one or two of them, I don't know. They fucking are both Australian, and they both pretty look the same to me, but they're on like 2 different accounts. I don't know, maybe they're just fucking spamming. There's that female Twitch streamer who literally every TikTok clip, every single one of them, is literally just them reacting to a donation of some guy making some sort of sexual comment or sexual joke or sexist joke. You know, what's the best place for a woman? The kitchen. And then she does that fucking classic YouTube react face, puts her hand over her mouth and goes, oh my god! Come on. It's when stuff like that is seen as rewarded. Stupid men with no social skills, and gamers are one of them, with no interactions with women, will then do that in general, thinking that's okay. It's you essentially find the biggest losers, and then they come on a game and do it because they view it as acceptable. Hell, fucking every goddamn female Twitch streamer, pretty much all of them have an OnlyFans. ST Peach, Simpson Bear, I mentioned all of them have only fucking fans. When fucking 90% of the women who are either into some sort of gamer aesthetic go on TikTok and their only personality trait and their biggest thing is that they're a gamer, when all the female Twitch streamers, a lot of the big ones and normal ones, all stream very sexual-like, and then they all have OnlyFans, it's not hard for me to make a leap and say a lot of gamers with no female interaction, no social understanding, and probably some of them are decently young, are going to think, wow, okay, a lot of gamers are clearly into OnlyFans, I'm going to ask for it. Logical. Number 2, I'm going to sit here and say, he's trolling. He's joking to make his friends laugh, essentially, about asking for the OnlyFans. Or to see if you have one. It's funny how women say sex work is okay work and, it's respectable until someone asks if they're a sex worker. Then suddenly it's the least respectable job in the world and they're offended. How dare you say I have an OnlyFans? It's okay to have an OnlyFans and be a prostitute. It's just not for me. I don't have an OnlyFans, right? It's like when people go on, and people do this with men too, the same type of men. It's like if you fucking go on TikTok and say we love our plus size queens, or we love our short kings, and people do that shit, and you do it to a woman who's in shape, or a fucking man in general, they're gonna get all offended. But then they'll, in their same fucking notes, say it's okay to be fat, and that fat people look all pretty. Or how women will comment on a fucking fat person's fucking TikTok and say, oh my god, you're so pretty, you're perfect. But then go comment on a hot girl and say, sis, stop arching your back. Sweetie, why do you stand like that? This is so disgusting and objectifying. It's like, come on. I wonder why you're doing it. It's fucking stupid, man. Absolutely stupid.
To objectify them. A bit like when they use the phrase, get back to the kitchen, as a universal response to
what about when I'm called a retard? Huh?
Whatever a woman is trying to say or do.
Or when a black person was called a racial slur.
There are 2 sides to this. Yes, the stuff they're saying is nasty and unwelcome. But also, the people posting this abuse don't care, probably don't even think about it. Yet ultimately, it inflicts great damage to the female scene.
No, it doesn't inflict great damage to the female scene. It doesn't. I don't see how it's so possible for women to face this much worse toxicity than men. I cannot look back in Call of Duty and think all these people who are still playing games and still manage to go play games afterwards manage to face less toxicity than what I see women face. Please, go back and look at Call of Duty. I implore you to go look at fucking highlights. Hell, maybe I'll even put some in this video if I decide to fucking do some actual editing to it. So far, I have no intention. Go look! Go look! Go look at Counter-Strike. Go look at my time in Overwatch. If me or the people I played against quit Overwatch because of what they said to me or I said to them, there'd be no gamers. Video games would be a dead industry. There would be none. Yep, it really is just develop thicker skin. That's essentially what it is. Men have developed the skill to have thicker skin, and women haven't because they haven't put as much time into gaming. Among the reasons I don't think women really need to develop the skill for thicker skin, because women have emotional support fallbacks. They can go post a pic on Instagram and get loads of compliments, and they can go get hit on by men and have ways to build up their confidence or remove insecurity that men don't have the pleasure of having. Just naturally. So women also have that as a fallback. So if someone does insult them, they have the little girlfriend to go to or whatever to get emotional support. Where men do have to either learn to laugh about yourself, learn to insult back, or develop thicker skin essentially and not care. It's just a fact of life.
Now you can say that victims of this abuse should just ignore it.
They should.
Maybe it'll go away.
It won't.
But they have to ignore it every time. And
no, they don't. It doesn't happen every time.
Kira told me about this one time on Rocket League.
It doesn't happen. I may have actually seen this clip before. I could be wrong. I do remember there was a fucking Rocket League post about a guy saying he played with a woman and he was making like remarks in fucking text chat. It was such an embarrassing article. Neat Mike did a video on it. Go fucking watch it. It was laughable. It was a good video. Go laugh about that shit.
Where simply because her name had girl in it, an opposing player started spamming generic misogynistic lines at her.
By the way, notice how every single girl always has to advertise they're a girl. This is the part where I'll fucking probably turn into a little sexist pig. This is the part where I'll say, not backed by nearly as much logic or facts or just basic understanding and common sense, but I'll say it here now since it brought up. I think a lot of women will go on video games looking for attention. I've said it before. I've made jokes through my years of Overwatch footage, which again, maybe I'll get to in the future. I'm not going to go sit here and siphon through fucking hundreds of hours worth of fucking Overwatch footage and edit it just for this video. I don't care that much. But it's essentially, I've seen fucking countless times where it's so easy to tell when someone's a woman because they're actively advertising it. They name themselves a female name or a cutesy name, or they put girl, or they put a selfie, or they put themselves in some fucking bikini pic. I mean, and that's Overwatch, Counter-Strike, everything. The amount of times I see a woman advertising that they're a woman, I can only view it for attention. The amount of times a woman will start talking in the game in a way that sounds like it's looking for attention. Now, obviously, they're just talking in the game, so I don't fucking place as much on that as I do with other stuff. But when I hear a woman in the game talking and it sounds to me like she's sort of flirting, I view it that way as just she's looking for attention. And I view it normally as a lot of the time I think they're trying to become streamers. Because that's what everyone would do. They advertise that they're a girl so they can make it bigger on Twitch right away. There was a long time ago, at this point, there was a fucking person I met through Counter-Strike. And I won't say the name because one, it doesn't exist anymore, and two, no point. She was a fucking girl, and she was a streamer. The amount of times, and including me, by the way, but granted, she was on my team, and I thought she was fucking... I thought she was funny, and I enjoyed her company, so I went to the stream and started to watch. Why not? I'm a bit of a loser myself, so, you know, fuck it, as I do. It's one of those things. I literally am not kidding you. Every single game, she would get another viewer and another viewer and another viewer and another viewer and another follower and more donations. And she was as small as a streamer as you can get. I'm gonna be fucking completely honest with you. She wasn't even all that attractive compared to other women. At least, you know, didn't sexualize herself nearly as much either. She was still getting fucking donations and followers and whatnot every game. She was posting her fucking Twitch link in the fucking chat and people would go to it. No one insulted her for it. I guarantee you I go into a fucking game and post my YouTube channel, and I have before, back when I was a retard. I'd post my YouTube channel and people would fucking tell me to fuck off and say it's shit and say you suck and whatnot. Just to insult me because I fucking plugged my channel. Fucking people on Reddit complain all the time anytime I fucking put a link to my channel in the comments after I upload a clip. Because they hate self-advertising unless it's for a fucking artist or a female cosplayer. That's the only time they allow it. Or a Twitch streamer too, sorry. Twitch streamers as well. But I think a lot of the time they are looking for attention because there's no reason to bring the attention to yourself. If women are so abused, why is it I constantly see women bringing attention to themselves if they're so abused with sexist shit? I can tell you why, because in all of my goddamn hours of gaming, I've barely seen women get abused, if at all. And definitely none of it was for sexism reasons.
Over and over again, and something about this encounter was enough for her to lose her cool. She told me she was tilted, and that she ended up saying some things back to that person that she now regrets. But it just happens sometimes, you know? And what's the phrase? Evil triumphs.
You're gonna show me a clip?
Nothing.
That's not true at all. Evil can triumph if evil has more power. I hope I don't know if he's going to. I don't think he is, but if he talks about again. So I'm gonna take 3KliksPhillip's words for it that he's not lying, because this guy's been in Counter-Strike for years and he's always been honest and whatnot. I trust his credibility as a creator. I don't know the other chick, so I don't trust her credibility, but I presume she's not going to be lying about it. But being I see no visual or photographic evidence, I can maybe assume that she was fucking saying stuff back to him, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was some slurs involved, by the way. And that's why she said some stuff she regrets. I wouldn't be surprised if there were slurs involved. But if someone is honestly typing for you to get in the kitchen, for whatever reason, again, he was probably losing in the Rocket League game. Maybe you blew him up for all I know. There's plenty of reasons to get mad in Rocket League. People spam what a save all the time just to be toxic for no reason in that game. It's just how it is. But if just him typing "make me a Sammy" or "get in the kitchen" or shit like that just gets to you that badly, I'm confused. I hope she's not a streamer. I hope he's not talking about a streamer. I honestly don't know. I hope he's not talking about a streamer, because if he is, I'm going to say goodbye to your career right now, because if you can't handle basic criticism and jokes from some random asshole in a text chat in Rocket League, you ain't dealing with anything else major. Fucking celebrities, female celebrities especially, already have developed a lot of that thick skin to avoid not getting upset. You know how many fucking goddamn Twitch thoughts have been called booby streamers and Twitch thoughts and e-whores and whatnot through the years? How many times they've had to hear that shit? They still stream. They're still successful, despite all that. It's almost as if you stop giving in to the people who insult you and stop giving them power, they won't have any!
So if you see this happening in your match, do something about it. Speak up. Call out their behavior as inappropriate, and let the women in your game...
I can think of about 400 insults right now about how I could fucking... if I'm arguing with a woman, I can... and, you know, trying to hurt her with sexism, as I would. I can tell you this now, I would do it. I can tell you without a doubt in my mind, if someone stood up for her, I can think of 400 insults after saying White Knight about how I could hurt that guy. I mean, 400 insults, literally. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. And two, I'm pretty sure the girl could stand up for herself. You saying that I have to stand up for the girl, that she can't stand up for herself? She needs a man to come in and protect her, that she can't do it? Sounds like sexism to me. Sounds like true sexism there. Uh-oh.
Game know that they have your support. It means a lot not to go it alone, especially when it's still going on.
Go at it alone? Go at it alone? It's a guy saying mean words on the internet! She isn't being fucking physically tortured! It was not even emotional torture, just some fucking basic insults I could get in a fucking meme from goddamn 2003. I could literally find the fucking memes from iFunny if I really wanted to. About fucking getting in the kitchen and making me a Sammy. I can find that shit. It's stupid. Go at it alone. She's a woman. She's not the weakest thing in the world. She's not frail. She doesn't need protection like I know a lot of men tend to think with that mindset, because that's how men are. Naturally, instinctually, they think about protecting and helping said women. Men are normally softer on women. That's why if a woman goes in to a mechanic shop or whatever, she'll have less of a chance of being taken advantage of. Not completely, but less. Or if a woman calls for construction work, there's less of a chance she'll be taken advantage of because people are softer on women. I hate to break it to you. That's true in the life of gaming, too. That's 100% true. People are softer on women. So I know you feel this need to protect them, but I hate to break it to you. Women aren't frail creatures. They're grown adults. If they can't handle insults, then that's their own fucking problem. You think you'd be standing up for, again, the countless amount of times I've seen kids get insulted. I've done it! Go look at my Call of Duty video for Cold War. The first one. It's like 8 or 10 minutes or whatever. I insulted a kid in there. I was insulting a kid on the mic because he was fucking annoying. He had his microphone on. It was fucking horrid quality. I insulted a child. Go Go look at any of Merc Music's old videos, from Minecraft trolling to COD trolling. I used to watch them when I was younger. He was literally trolling children, making them scream and cry. Those are actual literal children. But you're getting more offended over a fucking grown adult. A grown adult. I don't give a shit if she's a woman, a man, a tranny, a fucking homo. I don't give a shit what skin color she is. She is a grown fucking adult. It's not that hard. It's not. Jesus Christ, it's so fucking backwards. All because people want to get offended and fucking have a get-out-of-jail-free card, essentially.
Yes, you can disable profile pictures. Yes, you can mute people. But at the end of the day, Counter-Strike is a team game, and if you shut yourself off from everybody on your team, then you're not going to play to the...
One person was being toxic in the stream, you still have 4 other people to communicate. And let's be honest, I don't think that toxic guy's gonna be throwing out too many fucking call-outs anyways, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's gonna sit there and say, "Ah, fucking, go get in the kitchen, you stupid bitch," yeah, with 3 coming out monster. I don't see that happening. So you can meet him, and she still has fucking 3 other people, sorry, not 4, including herself. She still has 3 other people to communicate with. There's only one person being toxic. She has 3 people to communicate with. And I hate to break it to you, Counter-Strike's a team game, sure. Essentially, I don't give a shit how big of a team game it is. If I fucking have better aim than you, you're losing. You can throw as many nades as you want to down A-ramp. When I get outside A-ramp and I have better aim than you, you're done. If at the end of the day, if you can't headshot me, you're not going to win. Astralis is fucking the core of it, you know, the Device Glaive, Zipix, Magisk, and Dupree. You take that fucking team and all their fucking stellar work with nades and the reinventing of Counter-Strike meta that they did, but you make it so they're all fucking silver elite players. Astralis ain't making it fucking big. Liquid would stomp them. Hell, Liquid was the 2nd best team in the world. They copied Astralis' strats, but worse, and they won purely from aim. Just from aim! Hell, that's how NA's made it for all these years. NA has purely made it through Counter-Strike all these years because of aim. Not from teamwork, not from team play, not from a competitive grind, not from skill, not from anything like that. They made it because they are so fucking good at aiming. That's how they are. You think when Envious won all those years, it's because they were, when Envious, you know, with Kenny S and all them won like Cluj and Apoca and almost won the major before Fnatic won? You think they won because of their fucking stellar strats? No, they were stupid. They force bought every round. They won because they were aiming, out-aiming everybody. And they still almost lost to fucking teams like, well, it was TSM or TQM or whatever at the time with Kerrigan and Device and all them, funnily enough. They were winning not with stellar strategies. They were winning because they were out-aiming. They were playing stupid Counter-Strike, but it was working out for them because of the fact they were aiming so good. It shouldn't be this fucking difficult to process.
Best of your ability. Lucy told me that she gets around this by not going into matches in anything less than a pre-made team, simply to avoid the risk of encountering nasty, toxic behaviour, which it might do, but requiring a 5-stack puts
it would.
Yet another barrier for women trying.
Well, it shouldn't require 5-stack, because if she queues in with just 4 people and that one person gets toxic, she has 3 people to emotionally support her. So that should solve that problem. Just mute the one guy. Fuck. Why does everyone want to change the world? Just change what you can control and stop trying to control everything else.
To play the game. She told me that she doesn't feel anger, only hurt and disappointment towards the people responsible. She knows it's the internet and that there are no repercussions for this sort of behaviour.
Yep.
Sure, she reports those people for verbal abuse, but it doesn't feel like it makes a great deal of difference. When making this video, I tried to look up past discussions about this on Reddit.
I mean, she feels hurt and disappointed. Why? They're just being toxic. I don't get it.
To get a better feel of how the community feels about this, but I just stumbled across posts making fun of the female scene, likening pro-women CS to low-rank play.
Remember when they made fun of NA?
Suggesting that they removed women-only events completely.
Do you remember when they made fun of NA?
Backwards to me, but I think could even be making the problem worse. Abby thinks that the female CS meme is taken literally by some players, who use it to justify their attacks on the female players that they meet. Even when in a ranked game with similarly ranked players, they
NA CSGO and NA CSGO, it's that simple. I can guarantee you if I as an NA player went over and played in Europe and played bad, they're going to make fun of me for being an NA player. Want to know why female CSGO, even in a similarly ranked game, they're made fun of? Because female CSGO sucks. And 2, you ever thought that maybe the woman just sucks in the game? You ever thought about that? You want to know why I would get made fun of in Europe if I went over and played over there? Because I would suck! So of course they're going to say NA CSGO players suck, because I suck!
They look down on their female peers and
No,
set out to put them down, essentially gatekeeping the higher tiers of Counter-Strike from anybody other than other men.
Really? Then why is Benita a pro player? Giuliano? This Harvey? How are all these people making it into pros? How are the female CS teams enough to form a league if they're not allowed to play the game? How is that possible? Honestly, it's confusing to me. How is it possible? Why don't other women play against all the women on like Face It? Why don't they do that? It's confusing to me how all these people manage to make it as professionals and how all these people manage to make it as streamers, but all they face is hardship along the way. I don't know how they do it then. Miss Harvey faced so much problems and to becoming a pro that she became a pro. Yeah, real hard.
So if you ask me, the reason there aren't top female players in Counter-Strike comes down to a lot of reasons, which when combined can make a big difference. They do get more abuse. This will make them less likely to play or want to play, or will force them to play in a way where...
I got a lot of abuse before and I still played video games because video games are a higher priority hobby for me than they are for most women. As a kid, one of the funnest things I could do was play video games, so even if I got mad at Call of Duty, I'd still queue for another game despite being mad. Because of the fact that I wanted to play Call of Duty. I wanted to play video games. It's just a fact. It's not as high priority of a hobby for women. At least in North America, women have a lot of other things they can do with their lives. From television to music, to reading, to social activities, from friends to parties, to boyfriends, relationships, dates, whatever. Women have a lot more stuff they can do in their lives, and a lot of regular gamers essentially won't have because they missed out in social situations like that. So a lot of gamers don't have the girlfriends to worry about. They don't have parties and friends to go to. They don't go out to bars and nightclubs. They don't have that, so gaming then takes a higher precedence as a hobby. A lot of gamers tend to just watch anime, not watch a lot of other television shows and whatnot. Hell, a lot of people nowadays who are younger don't even watch cable TV. They just stream stuff off Netflix and it's all binged. So I don't have to sit there and take an hour out of my week every day to go watch something. I can just spend 4 hours watching a show and be done with it. It's just not as high priority of a hobby for women. There aren't a lot of women in the scene, and women have a lot less experience playing first-person shooters and PC games in general than men do, on average. When fucking Device or whoever, go look at any of the fucking Valve documentaries they did about the professionals way back when, and the other outsourced ones that happened at other tournaments, they all started playing on like a brother's computer when they were fucking young. They were like 8 years old, playing competitive, and the ones who didn't like Skadoodle were playing other professional games. People like Relic, I think Stewie 2K, were all playing other games professionally. They started from a very young age playing, whereas women didn't. Women in gaming is only a recent development. So of course, logically, they're not going to be as good yet. Maybe in the future. I don't think so, because I think there's a lot of other opportunity that will make a lot of people decide not to be a professional gamer. I can tell you right fucking now that if I had the skill to become a professional Counter-Strike player, I would still be a streamer / YouTuber / whatever. I would choose to do that path instead of the gaming. Because I'm not a very competitive person, like that competitive. And quite frankly, I don't want to spend 18 hours a day becoming the best Counter-Strike player, because that's not what would interest me. I'd rather make more money doing less work as a streamer / YouTuber, and a lot of women will make that mindset, just as males have, and that's just a fact of life. It's very simple as to why all this is. It's just you have to do a little bit of critical thinking to understand it and stop looking for some sort of ism to blame. Not everybody's an ist, and nobody fucking cares about the ism. Nobody hates women playing games. In fact, I hate to break this fucking truth to you, girls, guys, anybody want to think? Go look at all the countless posts of fucking guys wanting their girlfriends to try out video games or to play video games with them. Or how excited they'll get if a girl says, hey, can I play with you? And they get all visibly excited on like TikTok and whatnot. That's a common thing. Guys would want you to enjoy one of their hobbies, just how you as a woman would want a guy to enjoy one of yours. That's basic logic. Why would a guy not want you in gaming when he wants a girlfriend who'd be a gamer? That is like the dream of a lot of gamers, is to have a girl who would like video games. The logic is just so fucking wrong. I wish I could think of a way to understand the other side and to pity it, but the logic is so fucked. The only thing I can see women getting harassed for extra is the fact that they're women. The fact that a guy would try to, flirt or pick up a woman on Counter-Strike, yes, I will give you that. That is the one time I say women get harassed about them being a woman. Harassed with air quotes, by the way. But that isn't a product of sexism. That's a product of women being the ones who decide relationships, partners. Men have to go appease the woman, and the woman has to choose which man appeased her the most. That's essentially how relationships boil down to 90% of the time. That's the best. That's how you have to go about it. So yes, sometimes women don't want to be approached. Maybe a guy approaches you in a grocery store and it's annoying, but unfortunately, having the power to choose out of a lot of men of which one you want, that power comes with the consequence of men constantly trying to approach you. It's that simple. Whether it's in public, in a grocery store, in a bar, in a nightclub, or over a video game in Counter-Strike. I'll admit it's fucking stupid. I'll admit the logic's not there. But what do you think? A bunch of socially stunted fucking gamers who are probably young to begin with and only have had maybe one girlfriend at the most, and it was back in fucking preschool, went for about 3 days. Of course they're gonna fucking think picking up a woman over Counter-Strike's gonna be a logical solution. That's the only harassment you deal with, and again, it's solved just by muting. It's not that difficult. It really isn't.
Where they can't perform optimally, and even if they do have the ability to become the best, would they even want to in a scene that dismisses and belittles them?
No, why would they? They can make it more as a streamer.
Every misstep at every level is tended to a meme that's upvoted on every mainstream internet platform.
NACS never dealt with that, by the way. Remember when Cloud9 had to deal with the fucking NACS meme with Shroud, Freakazoid, Nothing, Sharp Garrus, even Sunfist when he was on the team? Remember when they had to deal with that shit? All the NACS Go, NA Smokes, etc. Yet NA still fucking grinded. They still got better and better teams and better players. Comparably, obviously, to the older NA. They still got better, despite all the insults and all the jokes about NA. I can go show you how countless death segments where people like Thorn and all the other talent, rightfully so, and funnily so, are insulting the NA talent. I can literally find it. The only person who didn't was Moses because he was NA, and that was the entire gimmick at the time. And yet NA still grind and they still got better. It's that simple. Fucking pro players get judged for how bad they are. Edward was hearing how bad he fucking was on Navi for how many years. Zeus, Flamey, every NA player, Get Right and Force were hearing it at the fucking end of their careers. I know their careers are still going, but their careers are over. Freiberg was hearing it for a while. Cadian heard it when he lost to Giuliano for losing to a player who's worse than him. They may have said a female CSGO player, but it's because the player was worse than him. She was not up to par to Cadian. Giuliano was nowhere near Cadian's level of skill, and Cadian's not even the world's greatest Counter-Strike player. He's a tier 2 AWPer at most, who manages to have a very good team and do some very good leading in games. He's not a great AWPer. Cadian was struggling to fucking win against Renegades with Nico in the in that fucking IEM tournament where they had to choose lives, the one with the God be fuck meme. One of my favorite tournaments, by the way. Cadian was struggling to beat them with a Cillian and Barry and Madi and Nico standing in. Nico, the fucking third best player in the world, give or take, on G2. They were still struggling to win. It was that tournament that made Mouse Sports pick them up, I'm pretty sure. But it's fucking illogical, man.
On top of all the challenges that men already face when trying to go and to remain pro, female player models were added to the game recently, and this meant a lot to the men that I spoke with.
Oh, fuck. Women CSGO models, goddamn. It doesn't mean shit to women, man. It doesn't mean shit.
Era, it was exciting to finally be able to play as a character which kind of resembled herself.
She can't see the character. There's literally no difference. There's no fucking difference at all. It's so stupid. Holy fuck. That's like me saying, oh my god, there's a blonde character. I have blonde hair, by the way. There's a blonde character that I can play as. Cool, I'm gonna pick that one. Don't do that. Because I don't give a shit if he has blonde hair or dark hair. I just want the fucking character to play. And hell, these don't mean shit, so I don't give a fuck. I'll take whichever one's the rarest or looks the best. Female or male. It's like playing Overwatch and saying, I'm gonna play McCree because I have brown hair and he's the only one I'm gonna play. Like, no, that's just not how that works. It's fucking stupid logic. Fucking dumb as shit.
Them to be added, though she did mention that she missed the character selection feature that was in earlier Counter-Strike games. For her, a lot of gaming's appeal is about being able to roleplay a character, not necessarily one that's her.
Yeah, see, that is true. You can roleplay character. That's a very big thing in gaming, but it's not a big thing in competitive gaming. When I play fucking Heroes of the Storm, or I'll use Overwatch here. When I play Overwatch and I pick fucking goddamn, let's say, Reinhardt, I'm not roleplaying as a fucking German tank. Literally. When I play Hammer, I'm not roleplaying as a fucking gerbil or a hamster. I'm not fucking running around on a fucking wheel like a fucking retard in my bedroom in the fucking off times of fucking Overwatch lobbies. I'm not doing that. When I pick Winston, I'm not fucking scratching my ass and fucking shoving bananas in my mouth so I can roleplay. I pick Winston because of his abilities. You can literally make the characters gray, completely gray, and you can make the maps completely just orange rectangles. People are playing the game for the competitiveness to it. That's why they're playing first-person shooters. So sure, maybe if she's playing Skyrim or fucking Fallout or a game or Witcher or something, sure, you get into the roleplay with that character. Maybe, I'll give you that. But not with a game like Counter-Strike. You're not roleplaying in a game like Counter-Strike. It's just not how that works. It's stupid. You don't even see your character. Your character doesn't talk. Outside of the commands that nobody uses unless they're doing the fucking stupid moan command. It's fucking way too damn loud.
More like one that's her idealized
sound like a
version
grumpy
of her,
old man.
without real-life restrictions and limits. It is gaming, after all. And the inclusion of a woman character wasn't so much adding women for the sake of it, so much as it was about addressing an odd omission which had been overlooked for years. For a game to have...
It wasn't an odd omission. They just added fucking 5 character models to the fucking game. The fucking a lot of the character models barely have faces, as you see fucking Ski Mask, the slump god over here. This guy doesn't got fucking... He has fucking 2 eyes and a fucking thing of lips. You take that mask off, I guarantee you it's still gonna be 2 eyes and a thing of lips. There's no head, there's no scalp, no hair, no forehead, no nose, nothing. It's a fucking thing of pixels. It means shit. It wasn't an auto mission, fucking idiots.
Have such a range of character models, but for all of them to be for just one of the sexes. Imagine if there were only female characters to choose from. It would seem like such a glaring omission to not have at least one male model to choose from.
See, maybe I could say that it would be a glaring omission, but I also wouldn't give a shit. Diva is my second highest played Overwatch character. Moira is now my second highest played Overwatch character. Both women. Do I give a fuck that they're women? Do I care about picking a man over a woman? No. You wanna know the only people who actually do that? Women! Women in Overwatch, countlessly, if they're not picking a healer, will always pick a female character most of the time. If a woman isn't playing healer, and she isn't picking Ana or Mercy, she'll play like a tank and she'll pick fucking Diva. Or she'll play a DPS and pick Pharah. Women choose to play women. Men don't give a shit. They don't. At all. It's just that simple. Men don't give a shit what they're fucking doing. They just care about the looks, essentially. That's why women pick all the little fucking pink skins in a game. They'll grab like the Neon Revolution or stuff like that in Counter-Strike. Men just pick whatever they want. Women go for aesthetics. Men really don't. Outside the ones who make inventory designs and whatnot.
From.
Men don't really give a shit about that stuff.
Lucy told me the same. She was also really excited when women player models.
Yes, every woman's excited when a woman character is added.
Resistance that these things received when they were first rolled out.
There wasn't
Battlefield
resistance.
5's female agents were a prime example.
Battlefield
Counter-Strikes were more warmly received.
That's because the reason why Counter-Strike was warmly received is because Counter-Strike isn't based in reality. People are mad because the women soldiers being added to what was supposed they thought or wanted to be a historically accurate game. That was the issue. It's adding something historically inaccurate to a game when it didn't happen. There weren't women soldiers or whatever at the time. I didn't really follow the story. I didn't give a shit. Outside the complaint about historical inaccuracy, nobody was mad that women were in the game and nobody thought women shouldn't ever be featured in video games. I hate to break this fucking truth to you. Men want to see women in video games because it turns them on. Why do you think characters like women, like Cortana, were sexualized and whatnot? Or why Mass Effect had all the sex scenes in it? Men like women, men like sex. It's that simple to understand. They would want women in the game. I knew a guy who some guy fucking met online a while ago and stopped talking to. He said one of his friends would always pick a female character to play so that when he was in third person and he had to be looking at someone's ass all the time, it would be a female's ass. Because again, no, it's that simple. It's that simple. They were just mad about historical inaccuracy. Like how when people got mad about Nazi symbols being removed from fucking fucking some Call of Duty game. It was a World War II maybe? I think it was World War II. I think that was a Sledgehammer one. It's like when they got mad, they were mad about the historical inaccuracy, not because they wanted to fucking Heil Hitler and salute Mein Führer. They didn't give a shit about that. They just cared about the fucking censorship that came along with it. It was the concept of it, the idea of it that bothered them, not the specific fact that my Nazis aren't being represented. I want to gas some Jews in my World War II game. That wasn't the issue. It's the same issue here, just historical inaccuracy.
She says the first were still met with some edgy comments, but now that there's half a dozen of them or so, It's becoming accepted, and she sees
people made
using
jokes
both.
essentially. They were
So
making
while
a
some
joke.
players might not have cared,
If they
these
did
character
exist,
models
I
broke
doubt they
down
did.
one of those little barriers that many of us never even noticed existed. And it might have been a bigger barrier than I thought. Kira told me that she considers Battlefield 5 to be inferior to Battlefield 4 in many areas, yet she still enjoys 5 more, simply because it has such a cool character customization feature.
Apps. This right here, by the way, is why women will never become professional. And this isn't an insult. Enjoy character customization. People love it with Skyrim. That's not why I'm upset. It's the idea of why women will not make it professional in a game like Counter-Strike is the exact reason why a woman, and I enjoy The Sims, but why a woman may play The Sims a lot more. Or Animal New Horizon, or a decorator game of some sort. Why a woman will play that more than a man. Because that's what interests them. A man doesn't care. When people complain about Call of Duty, the biggest complaint is that it isn't like they remember it, or because it's not good. Gunplay sucks, or it's not competitive, or skill-based matchmaking, whatever nonsense. And it's the same with Battlefield. Hell, people used to complain Call of Duty was too similar. I don't know. I used to complain about it, and then I realized after they changed the game, I then realized I was an asshole. I was an idiot. I complained about the game being similar, and then when they made it different, I wanted it to be what it was again because that's what I liked. I wanted Call of Duty to be like Black Ops 2 because Black Ops 2 is what I enjoyed. I don't care if it was the same as every other game. I wanted it to be that type of game. That's what I wanted to essentially play Call of Duty. So when they started to change it, then it sucked again because no one actually wanted different. A mistake later on I learned, not like I made a damn difference anyways. No one, it's like Activision changed it just specifically because of me, but there was a huge uproar for it. But women do enjoy customization and designing stuff a lot more. That's why if you looked at a lot of Flash games and smaller like little kids games for women were essentially all about customization and designing stuff because women enjoy that sort of thing more often than not. That's why women will play The Sims because they can design and customize their house and their Sims and live a sort of life type thing and design all that and have adventures. That's the thing commonly more found among women, where a man just wants the game to be good, competitively balanced, or whatever. He doesn't care about the customization nearly as much, especially if he's playing Battlefield. The only time I've ever seen customization really cared about in a male game is like NBA. But that's essentially to take your phone to a screen and they design so it's exactly how you look. Or maybe WWE, I guess, if you want some weird outlandish wrestlers. But I mean, really, men don't give a shit. And that's how even those games are not nearly as competitive. And I guarantee you, I don't think any of the professional NBA 2K players give enough fucks about customization. I don't know. I don't follow the scene at all, but I'm sure they don't. But this is why. Women don't enjoy the competitive fight as much. She didn't care if the game was exactly the same. She didn't care if the gameplay was good. She enjoys it purely more because there's customization. Something she maybe does like once or twice. She does it clearly at level unlocks. That's like saying you used to play Halo for the different customization options. That's essentially what they added here, was a Halo customization option. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares now in Halo. They want the gameplay. It's that simple. Nothing wrong with her liking it, but that's just how it works.
Feature. She told me she would love for Counter-Strike to give you base guy and girl skins, so that you don't have to pay money to play as a woman in the first place. And then maybe the game could add customization on top of these in the form of cosmetics. Maybe even introduce hats.
This, by the way, comes from 3KliksPhillip, the guy who's constantly making posts about how the new character models fucking were blinded on certain maps, and new cache had constant visibility issues with the models, and how certain things like hats and backpacks don't actually register with the hitbox. So it can confuse you and get CSGO'd moments. That sounds less competitively viable just to appease a very small demographic of women. It's a competitive game. It's that simple. You want the game to be competitive. People actually complain more about RNG and stuff like that now. Even stuff, minor stuff. Customization and base skins don't mean shit. I guarantee you, if you could, everyone would turn off the custom skins. Anybody who could play the game competitively would turn off the custom skins and play as one of the default characters. I guarantee you, Valve said today, we're changing it so every character model on both halves have one model, that's it. They would be okay with it. Outside the fact you can sometimes tell different character models, obviously. If they said you can remove character models, and how people would do it, they would all turn it off. Because nobody likes the new character models when they're playing competitively, because it's harder to see and harder to register when someone's a teammate or an enemy, or if it's just a rock. When you're really looking at pixels. I have issues with it. I just don't care as much because I'm not trying to become a professional. But it's stuff like that that's just backward logic
so how
from
else
him.
did Counter-Strike encourage women to play it? Lucy thinks that
When you have to remove you have to add another RNG element and a new competitive aspect to the game that literally everybody already doesn't like, that professionals literally have a fucking set rule against using the custom character models. They have a little friendly agreement not to do it because it's all uncompetitive and difficult. You want to actively add that just to get maybe 10 more women to play the game? Really? Just for 10 more women to play the game without a customization option that would ruin competitive in matchmaking? Which, by the way, matchmaking already sucks. Rank Decay already killed it, but let's kill it some more.
Riot have done a great job with Valorant in the form of the Game Changers events, which is a series of top tournaments with large prize pools for female gamers, with the ultimate goal of these being to build a champions tour that better represents the diversity of their community.
I don't know a lot about Valorant, but Riot's a fucking cancer company, and I can only presume that it's going to be like the female chess league, so... Look
Indeed,
at that, it's going to be
she
about
told me
the
that
same.
a lot of women have already left Counter-Strike because there are more opportunities for them elsewhere.
By the way, I don't 3KliksPhillip. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna look it up quick. 3KliksPhillip NA CS:GO. Dying. NA CS:GO dying. Notice, by the way, how 3KliksPhillip, I don't think, I could be wrong on this, I could be wrong, he's made videos on CSGO dying, potentially, is CSGO dying or whatever, that was years upon years ago, I'm pretty sure. Back when CSGO gambling sort of got banned and a lot of people, left the game, so the numbers dropped from the record-breaking they were at before. He's making a video on fucking 15 goddamn women leaving the game to go play Valorant, when there's literally an entire region of players, ex-pros in Europe, and people in Tier 2 in Europe, all leaving Counter-Strike to play Valorant. But you don't make a video on NACS being dead, or Tier 2 Counter-Strike dying. Oh, and he makes a remark about fucking all the fucking pros who veterans are fucking leaving to go play Valorant. You don't make a single video on losing fucking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fucking literal champion level players, championship level players who can literally develop to be winners of majors, but you're mad about fucking 15 women who already weren't good enough to be beating Tier 3 NA. You're gonna get mad about them leaving to Valorant. That's when Valve needs to step in, when ESL needs to form these leagues. There's literally there's dead regions that weren't dead before but are dying now because of this. Because of COVID and ESL killing it. And yet, you're worrying more about 15 women than maybe getting in another 10 who are gonna play the game and then end up leaving when they realize matchmaking fucking sucks. Fuck. I don't get it.
And this isn't just happening to the players. She tells me that women are mostly hired on as hosts or as interviewers, and says how disappointed she is when a major is announced with only male talent.
Well, I hate to break you. Outside of the fact that a lot of this was a throwback major at the time, you ever thought about, taking an event? You ever thought maybe more female talent actually doing events and not crying about not getting hired and actually working on their skills? Notice how a lot of the talent you see up here have either been in the scene for an absolute fuck ton of years, by the way. Sadakist, Semler, Anders, Bardolph, Moses, DDK. Richard Lewis, by the way, Thorn, Yanko, have all been in the scenes for years upon year, like from the beginning. Yanko, I think, was observing back then, but even Yanko was new. Sponge, ex-pro. Maniac, ex-pro. And Sponge has been working on his craft for so many years. Maniac is an ex-pro. The only ones I think are new are Blair, who I think's done things before, by the way. I'm not exactly sure. He's the only one who I'd say was probably new. And Machine has been casting and hosting and whatnot for years. And by the way, back when CSGO had no talent to hire, people way back in the day, back in like 2013, used to do both. Andrews would go cast, and then would come and be on the analyst desk. So same with Semler and Sadakist and Henry G and whatnot. They would all do that sort of thing because there wasn't enough talent to hire or enough money to go around to do it. They were used to do that sort of thing. You want more women in there, then more women should fucking work on their craft, get better. A lot of them are ex-pros. Miss Harvey was hired before. She stopped doing the events. She was hired before, though, or Benita, whoever was hired. I don't exactly remember the name off the top of my head. I think it was Harvey. They were hired. But notice how a lot of analysts are now ex-pros or have been in the scene for longer than fucking most new Counter-Strike players have been professionals.
This is an esport. People watch it. And we're alienating half our potential viewership by having so...
First off, you're not alienating half your potential viewership. Going on the idea that half of all female population or half of all female gamers are going to watch Counter-Strike professionals is nonsense. Counter-Strike it's not like a random video game stream. It's a specific video game. So you can't say half of all the population or half of all gamers or half of all female gamers or anything like that. It's not that. It's half of all Counter-Strike players and half of all potential Counter-Strike players, to which women are not high up in that list, as Counter-Strike isn't a game that appeals to women. With or without these barriers, with or without the toxicity, if you remove all of that, the game itself still does not appeal to women. As you can see, the one complaint was having a custom creation, something that would lower the competitive aspect of the game. Someone who didn't care in that specific streamer about having the game be too similar, having the game be shit, essentially, as all Battlefield really is. She cared about the customization and other stuff. She didn't care about the competitive aspect, which is exactly what Counter-Strike is. That's the fucking thing. Observers, I guess you could hire women there, but I mean, Sapphire is a female observer, and she's been observing for a long time. I mean. She wasn't hired at this specific major. I don't know why, but I think it's because PGL used their own specific staff. Because I know fucking Rush is ESL, and I know Prius isn't there. I think it's Prius. I know there's some fucking big name observers. Fuck me. And I think this is PGL's own specific staff. I'm not sure. I don't recognize really any of the names, but either way, it's because you're not missing out half viewership. And two, I hate to break this fucking logical truth to you. A woman's not going to just turn on and start watching professional Counter-Strike because there's a fucking female interviewer. How many women do you think tune in and watch basketball because they have that fucking female, that, was it Dora, or not Dora, Sky, what the fuck is NBA female, Doris Burke, that's it, I couldn't think of her name, thank you. How many women tune in just to watch Doris Burke, huh? Nobody fucking tunes in to watch basketball and see fucking Doris Burke talking in an interview or talking on the fucking commentator's desk. They don't give a shit. Women aren't going to watch that just because Doris Burke is on the fucking screen. She's not a fucking celebrity. She's not a big name pole. Sure, maybe more women and really people in general would watch if you got fucking Scarlett Johansson to be on the analyst desk. Sure, then I'd say a lot of people would watch, including women. If you pulled Ariana Grande or one of the big popular female celebrities and put them on the analyst desk, yeah, I'm sure a lot more women are going to watch, but they're not going to watch because of Counter-Strike. They're going to watch as a big celebrity. And no one in the scene, nobody, not a single person in the scene is big enough to draw that much viewership just on their own. This isn't wrestling. This is Counter-Strike. You can't just fucking say, oh yeah, we have John Cena, The Rock, fucking Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, Roman Reigns, and you can fucking all these big names. This isn't wrestling. It's not. None of these are big enough names to draw numbers themselves. None of them. Even Thorne and Richard Lewis, who I quite enjoy both of them. I think they're both very funny. I'm an avid fan of By the Numbers when I can get around to watching it. I don't even think they carry. I don't turn on and watch analyst desks just because they're on it, despite the fact I do think they're funny, because I don't care about wasting my time watching analyst desks. It's the same reason why I don't watch Halftime with like SportsCenter with fucking Shaq and whatnot on it. And Ernie and whatnot. I don't watch it because even with Shaq on it, Shaq's a big celebrity. I still don't give a shit. And none of these people are going to pull names. It's just fucking Smix or Frankie or doing some fucking interview or something. They don't give a fuck.
So few women represented. It doesn't send a great message when all of the people on stage are men.
No,
as
it doesn't.
Was the case with PGL recently, until
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Oh yeah, Freya. That's the other name I couldn't think of, by the way. That's the other name I couldn't think of. But next you're going to complain and say, oh, there's only one black guy there. There's no Indians. There's no Koreans, there's no Asians, unless maybe Blaze Asian, I don't know, I'm doing a quick judge here of people. And I'm not counting the Observer, by the way. Nobody gives a fuck about the Observer, he doesn't appear on the goddamn screen. Nobody's gonna complain about that. There's not enough racial mixing here. Maybe you have fucking countries, right? You have UK and whatnot with Thorne and Richard, and I think Bosnia with Yanko or some Slavic country, Maniac's French, etc. Moses is North American, but there's not enough racial diversity here, right? Maybe Sadokist is Asian too, I'm not sure. But I don't see the issue. I don't see why you have to have forced diversity. When you hire someone based off of them just being a woman, that's insulting. Oh yeah, we're only hiring you because we need a woman in the lineup. You wouldn't make it otherwise. What kind of insult is that? Smix and whatnot are good interviewers. Let them get hired based on pure talent, because they have a fucking vagina.
It doesn't send a great message when all of the people on stage are men. as was the case with PGL recently, until they added Freya to the roster.
It
So
wasn't
this
a
is why
problem
I
at
see
all.
the value to women-only tournaments, like the recently announced
Oh,
ESL
no, so
Women's
it's really,
CSGO circuit,
it's
which
stupid.
was actually the reason for me making this video, as I
What a
scrolled down
shock.
the responses to it and saw hundreds of bitter comments from people claiming that it's unfair. Why
It
should
is
women
unfair.
have a women-only league,
Why
one where
should
they can
they?
earn more, while playing at a lower level than in an open tournament? Hopefully this video has given you some reasons for why it should exist, and why it's good for Counter-Strike if it wants to remain.
By that logic, if we're going to do it with anything, and now I don't think there's any specific, I think words mean nothing, and I have my very strong opinion on how I don't think this is true, but if you're going to make a separate league for literally anybody, and I mean, if you're really going to fucking make a separate league because of abuse, the only time I think it should ever have existed is for maybe something like COD with black people or whatever. That's when I put in racial slurs. I don't view them as a big deal, but hey, if others do, not my fucking problem right now. That's not what I'm fucking whining about. That's when you should have their own league. They literally did face fucking countless things of abuse just for talking. I hate to break it to you. The thing that women claim had happened to them has happened long before. It has, and I hate to break it to you. It's women don't have anything new, and they don't have anything as bad as it's happened before, because what they have is basic. Very, very basic. There shouldn't be any female leagues. Especially when there's fucking leagues of literal men who've grinded to be good enough through all the toxicity that a male has to face, or just a player in general, really, has to face. And they're going to either make less money or have to go over to Valorant or just not be able to be on a team at all because they're spending more money in a female league than you do in NA. NA wasn't profitable, but the fucking female league will be? It's a load of shit.
A dominant esport. In an ideal world, we wouldn't need women-only events, but rather than seeing them as being the problem, see them as a product of a problem.
No one sees them as a problem. Nobody sees female leagues as an active problem to the community. They see them as fucking unfair, as illogical. It's unfair to have a female-only league. Where are the men-only leagues that'll make that much money? Why aren't the smaller tier male pros who are better than these females making more money in their tournaments then? That's where the unfair would rise. Why is more money being put into a women's league than into fucking leagues like NA or Australia, or even developing new leagues of actual gamers who would probably love Counter-Strike? Even trying to put more effort into fucking places like China, despite the fact they know how hard that would be and whatnot. Because we've had teams like Tyloo and whatnot around for years, and was it Mongols or whatever? I don't remember that other team name. We had teams like Tyloo around for fucking years. Some of the players still the same. Fucking Ben Tet left Tyloo to go out to make it as a fucking professional. Because he couldn't make it in China, so he had to try to go out to Europe and America and whatnot to make it. And God forbid, right? God forbid any money gets put into those scenes. No, we have to fucking put money so maybe 10 more women play the fucking game again. Essentially, the 10 women who are going to play the game are the ones who are fucking shit at the game and just say, ah, well, this is a good chance to earn $500,000 and then not play the game again.
Problem that needs to be fixed.
That's why they were able to work as full-time players.
I suggest we go along with it.
There are better
My idea
solutions.
was that we all pretend to be women, firstly.
That's the thing. That's the fucking thing at all. You see zero female CSGO teams because they won't grind. Let them go out there and fucking put in as many hours as simple. Let them go out there and put in as many hours as all these tier 2 pros trying to make it. Let them go do that. Let them go put in all those hours. I hate to break it to you, the males who don't put in the hours too also get insulted. Edward, remember the fucking giant outrage that happened with Virtus Pro with people like Bialy? When people were seeing that before tournaments, he was playing more PUBG than Counter-Strike? Remember that? I do. I remember he was being insulted for that sort of shit. And he was being fucking attacked. Zeus, Edward, Flamey just recently, after being kicked and doing what he did with Forza, are being attacked for not putting in the hours and for not grinding and for not caring about the game, because what's the point of you being a professional if you're not going to actually give a shit? There's no point in trying. And if you do want to do that and steal checks, I mean, go right ahead, make your money, but then you can't get upset about shit either. So if a female wants to get good enough, grind. It's that simple. For example, I don't know how good that Overwatch female was, that I think she was Korean, who joined, what was that shit Korean team? That shit fucking team that went like 0-12 or whatever. That's the scene. I forgot the fucking names. Like Shanghai Dragons, I think. That team. When they hired the fucking female, I don't know how good she was or how much it was token. I never really followed Overwatch at all. It was shit. But, I mean, she didn't join female-only tournaments. She grinded to get herself to a team where she could be with men. Maybe they brought her in for a token reason, and maybe she wasn't that good. I couldn't tell you, but at least she put the time in grinding. She didn't go out and complain saying we need female-only leagues because I can't compete with the men because of insert reason here, mainly sexism. Grind, make it. Hate to break it to you, all the professional players aren't going to be sexist and aren't going to want to win. Sure, maybe I'll have some fucking tier 2 pro and FPL who may make a comment, but he'll never make it on a fucking team anyways. Who gives a shit? Hate to break it to you, if tomorrow fucking and a female player went and played absolutely out of her mind and was fucking destroying tier 2 and going into FPL and fucking dominating people in FPL, you best believe people like Liquid and EG and Complexity and even some Europe companies are going to be looking at her for 2 reasons. One, because you're going to make a fucking shit ton of money off pandering by adding a woman. And number 2, because they want to win. They want to win. They will do whatever it takes to win. That's why you have the coaches constantly cheating with Hunden or with Vitality, because they want to win so badly. They will fucking cheat if they need to. Just be good enough. Just do good.
The abuse down. And secondly, to get a better understanding firsthand of how abusive an environment Counter-Strike can be.
So abusive,
Finally,
they're getting a gender
this
specific
post.
thing.
She was shown beating her enemies. She was a woman, and she only had one hand. Indeed, she of all people has had to overcome many barriers to achieve what she has in this game.
She has had to,
and after so many female CS memes, how do you think the community responded to this? The top comment? Gender is irrelevant. Memes, the abuse down, and secondly...
Hold on 1 second, boys. There's a small chance I'm a retard here, I'll admit. Also, by the way, this is the same guy who had a YouTube channel called, like, Fart Master, where he would just fucking go around farting on his girlfriend in different locations, by the way. I just want to let that be known. Do remember that this is... I trust his credibility, and I get that was just a joke or whatever he was doing. But do remember that is a thing that he had. So did he make an entire post and then at the end discount his entire argument by saying it's not a problem? By saying gender is irrelevant? Still kills with one arm? You just said how toxic CSGO has been through the years and how bad it is now still, and then just said, oh yeah, here's the top comment on a fucking post of a woman destroying. This guy didn't care. It's got how many awards and 13.2 thousand upvotes. You just discounted your entire fucking argument unless I'm somehow misreading this like an idiot. I don't think it's sarcasm. It sure doesn't read like sarcasm. You just discredited, your entire fucking argument. Your entire 10-minute video and my entire almost 2-hour video just got discredited. It's stupid. Stupid. You just discredited it. Thing is, that woman was impressive for killing with one arm. And whatnot. Is very impressive, I'll give her that. It's a very great thing to do. But fucking discredit your entire video. It's stupid.
Gender is irrelevant.
It's fucking illogical. Alright, well, it's been 2 hours, so I'm not going to give you an outro or conclusion. I've ranted enough. Fuck off.